Now, if it seems like those famous golden arches have lost some of their sheen, or Ronald McDonald isn't smiling as much, there may be a reason. San Francisco officials in California are moving to make the Happy Meal a little less happy. The city's Board of Supervisors have approved an ordinance that would ban toy giveaways in fast food children's meals like the McDonald's Happy Meal. Now, the exception would be if they meet certain nutritional standards having to do with calories, sodium and fat levels. Medical correspondent Elizabeth Cohen takes a look at just what children are really getting with their toys.
Well, it's one way to try to combat the epidemic of childhood obesity. Tell kids that if they want a high-fat, high-calorie Happy Meal, they can't get a toy. But if they want a healthier Happy Meal, then they can. Well, in San Francisco, that's the choice that kids will have once this new law goes into effect. And it's not just for McDonald's, it's for any fast food restaurant that gives out a toy with its meals. Now, let's take a look at a meal where a child would not be able to get a toy. It's a McDonald's Happy Meal that has a cheeseburger, small fries, and a soda. That's 640 calories and 24 grams of fat. 640 calories, that's more than half the calories that a child is supposed to get in a day if they're about 8 years old. Again, more than half the calories that an 8-year-old should get in a day, they're getting it in one meal. McDonald's, of course, had a reaction to this new rule. They said that they're extremely disappointed. They say this is not what our customers want, and they say that it's the parents' right, not the government's right, to tell children what they can and cannot eat. Back to you.
Well, choosing what's good for a child, including what they eat, is every parent's right. So when should the government be able to step in? Well, let's get more on this with Steve Siebold. He's the author of the aptly named Die Fat or Get Tough. He joins me from Tampa in Florida. Thank you so much for joining us. There will be cities around the world looking at what San Francisco's doing. Do you think they would be right to copy them?
Absolutely not. It's a government's overreach into private business, and it's a slippery slope that's got to stop.
But the government has a responsibility to teach people and inform people about what's healthy and what's not, particularly when children are involved.
I don't think that's the government's job. The government's job is to protect us and keep us safe, and that's the job of the school system is to educate kids and parents and the rest of it, not the government's job. It's just a clear overreach into private business.
But they're not telling parents not to buy the meals, they're just making them a bit less tempting, aren't they? They're not, it's not a diktat, it's just fiddling with things.
Well, it's the beginning, that's the problem. So what's next? Are we going to cancel Halloween? I mean, we've all gone out on Halloween and eaten too much candy. It's a tradition all over the world. Are they going to cancel Halloween now? They're going to tell us we can't do that either. Where does it stop, Max? That's my problem with this.
But when does a meal stop being healthy?
Well, I think it's a parent's responsibility. I mean, if a parent is taking a kid to McDonald's every night and eating 640-calorie meals, that's the parents, and that's their responsibility. That's up to them. But it's not the government's job to parent their, children. It's the parents' job.
Okay, this does come into government planning more often than many people would realise. Britain's communications watchdog, for example, Ofcom, not part of the government but a regulator, has banned junk food advertising around all children's programming aimed at under 16-year-olds. This is a similar sort of thing, isn't it? Do you disapprove of that as well?
Well, we're missing the solution to the problem, which is really mental toughness, which is discipline, which is putting down foods that are unhealthy and picking up foods that are healthy, and parents educating their kids on how to do this. I mean, that's really what's going to solve this whole obesity epidemic. But we keep going around the issue, and the issue is just mental toughness and discipline. But people don't want to say that because it's politically incorrect. That's why I wrote my book.
But in the British example, for example, aren't they just helping parents out a bit? The children see these adverts and they want the meals, or they want the junk food that they're seeing during their programs, and they're pestering their parents. Surely it's fine just to sort of avoid those adverts during those programs, isn't it? Help the parents out a bit?
Wouldn't we be better off going after the terrorists that are plaguing the world right now? I mean, don't we have bigger problems than trying to teach parents how to do their job?
Is there no point at which government should get involved in these sorts of decisions?
I don't think so. I don't think the government should be telling us or mandating how businesses do business, or how we teach our children, or how we run our lives. It's not what they're there for. not in a free economy, a free market.
If we go back to the San Francisco case, do you think it'll make any difference anyway, whether or not you take the toy out?
No, I don't think it's going to make. Kids are going to get what they want. They're going to convince their parents if the parents are susceptible to that kind of coercion, and they're going to get it anyway. It's like drugs. If people are going to, if they want it, they're going to find it. You might as well legalize it.
Steve Siebold, thank you very much indeed. It seems nothing polarizes parents as much as the Happy Meal.